D2 World Life biggest fan of Paul fucking Logan there. Or Logan Paul.
Screw you, and you botched my intro. Fuck off. But anyway, yeah, D2 World Life here with Rip Sellout Tides.
Well, we all know that you like Logan Paul.
Fuck Logan Paul.
You know that he would win the men's Rumble. I can't even fucking say it.
It's not the Rumble. We're talking about the Elimination Chamber.
That's why I said I couldn't say it.
So we're talking about the Elimination Chamber. No, fuck Logan Paul. It's like, fuck Logan Paul, but after last night, talking about Logan Paul's appearance in the Elimination Chamber is the last of our concerns at this point. Regardless whether he got his ass kicked or not, which he did, but... Right?
Oh, I enjoyed that very, very much.
But yeah, we're here to talk about the Elimination Chamber 2025 pay-per-view that took place at time recording last night on March 1st, 2025. In Toronto, Ontario, Canada, at the Rogers Centre, formerly known as the Toronto Skydome, with an attendance of 38,493, and the commentators for this event were your boy Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and Wade Barrett.
Now, we all know that you miss his orange singlet.
I don't care about his orange singlet, brah.
We all know you wanted to see him wrestle in that orange singlet.
And... No, and the ring announcer was Alicia Taylor, but we got a lot to talk about. A night of surprises, and a night of brutality, I should say, and a night in an ending that no one is going to forget. Right?
It's an ending that no one saw coming.
It's an ending that no one. I see what you did there, but in all reality, yeah, it was an ending that no one saw coming, and it's an ending no one's going to ever forget. But before we can talk about that ending in depth and how we felt about it, we got to talk about, there was only 4 matches on this card, no championship matches. It was just, a show saying, okay, we're shaping WrestleMania 41, which will be taking place on April 19th and April 20th in Las Vegas. Of course, we're going to be doing our review on that when that time comes, but they did the whole, they did the whole promo package for this, I believe. But you know what? It's like, to start things off really proper, they had the United States national anthem being played first. The fans in Canada hated that. Booed the shit out of it, right?
Boo Canada!
And then freaking afterwards, they had the same performer freaking sing the Canadian national anthem, which that got an applause at least. Right?
Yeah, but they shouldn't boo another nation's fucking national anthem. I don't give a shit.
I'm not going to go into speculation because, well, politics, I don't talk about politics, but let's just say I think they booed the American national anthem or the United States national anthem because of the situations going on. We ain't getting into that.
Matter. That doesn't fucking matter. I'm just saying that's just fucking bullshit. You don't boo another nation's fucking national anthem.
Yeah, but whatever the Canadians people in attendance reasoning for that, I'm not going to get into detail. I'm just going to speculate and just keep it as that. Oh, boy.
All I'm saying is that was fucking bullshit and fucking bullshit.
But anyway,
bullshit.
Yeah, after the opening hype video, we go into our first match, which was the Women's Elimination Chamber match, where the winner gets to face the Women's World Champion, whether that be the current champion Rhea Ripley or Io Sky.
Fucking mommy herself.
Yeah, and the participants in this match was Liv Morgan, Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Bianca Belair. And
a match mystery guest.
And this match started off with Liv Morgan and Naomi, but the match didn't even start off proper. You want to know why? Jade Cargill actually made a return after being injured back in November. And the big story they were going for is that, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez may have been the one to attack Jade Cargill, which led to a feud with Morgan and Rodriguez taking on Naomi and Belair here, which included Morgan and freaking Rodriguez winning the women's tag team championships from Naomi and Belair back on Raw this past week, which I know was your favorite moment on Raw.
Nope. Ooh, the Judgment Day.
But like I said, Jade Cargill made a return, and Liv Morgan was selling it like death, like, uh-oh, she's going to get her ass kicked by returning Jade Cargill. But no, Jade Cargill started attacking and visually beating the hell out of Naomi.
Which we don't know if it's true that Naomi did, because there's only speculation, but we will find out.
Yeah, Jade Cargill bashed Naomi against the freaking chamber, the chamber chain link, freaking or chain link to the chamber wall, or the chamber wall, right?
Yeah.
Threw her into one of the pods, and then right when Naomi was trying to escape, actually took the door of the chamber and smashed her in the ribs with it, thus totally taking her out of action. Bianca Belair was distraught because she couldn't do anything. She was locked in one of the chamber pods. Right?
Yeah.
And then they made the announcement that Naomi cannot compete due to the vicious attack, so she was eliminated by forfeit, basically. And Naomi had to be stretchered out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then freaking we had number 3 coming in, which was Bianca Belair, but instead of going immediately after
she was distraught.
Instead of immediately going after freaking what was it, Liv Morgan, she actually no, number 2 was Bayley. Okay. Actually no, the second person or the third person in here was freaking Belair. Yeah, and then what was it? Freaking shortly later, freaking Roxanne Perez with a 4th entrance, and this was back. At this point, Bayley got her head in the game, started fighting off Morgan.
Yeah.
And then number 5 was Bayley, and then number 6 was Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was a fan favorite here too, by the way.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, like we said, Belair entered, then it was followed by the 5th entrance of Bayley. Alexa Bliss entered last. Perez slammed Bayley against the chamber wall. And then she attempted a moonsault, but Bayley countered, and Bayley went for the rose slam, but Morgan performed the oblivion on Bayley to eliminate her. Right?
Yep.
Which, that was shocking. I thought freaking Bayley would last. I wasn't going to say Bayley was going to win, but I thought she was going to last longer than that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but we need to talk about this spot. At one point, Belair and Morgan were fighting near the top of the pod, right? With Morgan hanging off or clinging onto the side or the wall or the chain link,
Yeah.
And after a little tugging on Belair's hair, freaking Belair decided to take her freaking hair and whip freaking Morgan across the back and the stomach. And they wrapped around her stomach too. That sounded loud and I was cringing.
It was a loud it was against her chest and it was loud.
Yeah, and every time they kept replaying it, I kept grimacing because I'm just like, ow, fuck that. Right.
I better remind you of your childhood.
No, I better remind you of your childhood. Speaking of being reminded about our childhoods, we'll save that for the last segment of the show. Right? Yeah, and then Belair freaking jumped from the top of the pod to perform a crossbody on Morgan, Perez, and Bliss, which looked all right, looked decent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Morgan, yeah, and then Morgan and Bliss powerbombed Belair and Bliss from the top turnbuckle. The freaking like powerbomb spot into a suplex
Yeah.
spot in these multi-people matches. But then Morgan then hit a code breaker on the Prez and eliminating a Prez, and freaking Bliss nailed the twisted Bliss on Prez shortly afterwards, and freaking Roxanne Prez got eliminated by Bliss. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then freaking Belair went for the KOD on Bliss, but Morgan countered with a Sister Abigail. Or actually, no, Bliss countered with a Sister Abigail for a pin for a 2 count. Right?
Well, the first Sister Abigail was countered, and then the second one hit.
Yeah, I think the first one was countered by Morgan. Bliss did nail the Sister Abigail onto Bianca Belair, but then Morgan immediately rolled up Bliss and eliminated her with a 3 count right there. And I'm like, that's a shocker. I thought Bliss was going to win this thing. To be honest here, she was the favorite going into the match.
She did it the way that Bray Wyatt did it too.
Exactly. Yeah, and then Morgan was in control, including using Bianca's braid to slam her into the chamber wall, back and forth. The yo-yo spot that they did, which I gotta admit, that's creative, right? And when I kept saying, back, forth, it reminded me of the Game of Pain sessions we had. Where I just call it going back and forth between Luck and 50-50. You're like, I'm a yo-yo. Oh, God, I cracked myself up. Of course, Belair was able to fight back. She actually hit a spear on Morgan for a 2 count, right? Close 2 count. Because at this point, Liv Morgan, even though she's the heel, right? If she's a heel right now, I gotta give her credit, man. Fuck. Stomach wasn't pain. There was a big freaking, welt forming. Her freaking back was busted open a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so there's one thing Liv Morgan is. It's freaking tough despite her face-heel alignment, which is a heel right now. Right?
Yeah.
And, of course, after both went back and forth for a second, Morgan actually tried to hit the Oblivion onto Belair, which Belair countered into the KOD to pin Morgan to win the match and become number 1 contenders for the Women's World Title.
Yep.
And of course, after the match, when Belair was making her way up the aisleway, up the rampway to the into the back, freaking Rhea Ripley appeared on the stage along with Io Sky. Because, Io Sky will be challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship on Raw this coming week. So, teasing this could possibly be a Rhea Ripley versus Belair match at Mania, or a freaking Io Sky versus Belair match at Mania.
Well, it would be kind of cool to have Io versus Bianca, because Bianca's never beaten Io.
Yeah, and, honestly, I don't remember the last time, but you gotta think again, too. I don't remember the last time we seen a match between, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair on the main roster. I know they fought, I know they faced each other and had a little bit of a good rivalry down in NXT, but on the main roster, I don't remember an encounter between those two. Do you?
Not really. It doesn't really matter to me who she faces. It'd be different to see Io, but it could also be cool to see her face Rhea Ripley.
It's like, yeah. So yeah, after a little break, advertisements, after the little advertisement spots and stuff, we had the tag team matchup pitting WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Toronto, Canada's own Trish Stratus against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Yep.
Boy, I really hate to say this, but considering everything else on the show, this match was the weakest. Right?
Yeah.
And that's not knocking on any of the performers in this tag match, but it just fell flat compared to the other things we've seen on the show. And I know for a fact that's not their fault. Right?
Yeah, it was just the way that it was booked.
Yep. It's like, yeah, but after some back and forth between the two teams, typical tag teams here, typical tag team action that we're used to seeing with the heels dominating for most of it, but in the end, near the end, Trish Stratus got the hat tag. Actually, no, the Top Rope Stratus faction on Jax, which I thought was the highlight of this match.
Yeah.
And of course, LeRae broke the. It's like Candice LeRae tried to break the pin up, but Stratus moved out of the way, thus causing LeRae to fly into Jax. And I believe there was a a tag that Stratton was a legal person at this point.
Yeah.
And near the end of the match, freaking Stratton performed the prettiest moonsault ever on Jax to pin her again to win the tag match.
Yep.
Now I know I didn't go into a whole lot of detail there, but it just felt like, the typical tag match with the faces winning in the end. But, like I said, the biggest freaking thing, but the dang big highlight for me was Stratus nailing the Top Rope Stratus faction onto Jax.
The Super Stratus faction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on this tag match? I know we didn't go into a whole lot of detail, but what do you remember, like, other spots from it last night?
It could have been better. It just kind of was lackluster for a Trish Stratus match.
And I know.
She never lost a tag match in her hometown.
Yeah. And I know they really did this for the feel good moment of Trish Stratus competing in Toronto, Canada. And I guess Trish Stratus' children were at ringside to see her compete for the first time.
Yeah.
But all four competitors had better matches. This felt like something you could have seen on SmackDown. It was just your basic average tag match.
Yeah.
With just, a few, with just one or two, highlights from it. I mean, I really don't like to trash talk anyone's performance or not go into much detail with these tag matches, but there just wasn't really anything else here besides the ending.
Yeah.
And if you want to know the typical back and forth tag match, I've gone into detail freaking many times before in our other reviews, and that's pretty much how it felt here. Right?
Yeah.
As we know. Right? And the only reason I'm kind of bravely trying to go through these as good as I can is because of the big freaking, thing at the end we need to talk about. That's one we'll be going into more depth about. Right? Anyway.
Yep.
So was this match shit? No, it wasn't shit. Was it great? It wasn't the best match of the night? No. It felt average. So that's just my opinion. But knowing that Stratton did get the pinfall victory over Nia Jax here, that actually does help her make her look strong going into that women's title match against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So at least we'll give her that. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they showed the video package hyping up the next match, and yeah, we've seen this feud. We've seen the storyline for this feud dating all the way back to the Raw after the Royal Rumble when Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn from behind after Zayn's match with Punk, and then pretty much putting Zayn on the shelf for a couple weeks, and then Zayn wanting this match with Owens, which the general manager Adam Pearce was like, nope, I'm not going to make it official. If you want it, it's unsanctioned. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the next match we're about to talk about will be the unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now these two actually have great chemistry together. They pretty much broke into the business basically at the same time. And I know they have a lot of history with each other here in WWE, dating all the way back to their NXT days.
They were saying their alter ego, which was Kevin Steen and Originario or whatever.
El Generico, right?
El Generico. That they broke into the business in Canada.
So yeah, let's just talk about this one. Let's talk about this one. I know there's a lot of spots we need to talk about, but this match was freaking brutal from start to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, they started beating the hell out of each other. They started beating the hell out of each other in the ring. Gradually made their way into the audience. And in the audience, Sami Zayn actually nailed freaking Kevin Owens with a trash can. And what did Pat McAfee say on commentary?
Oh, you hit him with Dominic Mysterio.
It's pretty much saying that Dominic is trash.
He is trash. He's garbage.
Which, not gonna lie, that got me laughing harder than I should.
Is it bad that I laughed at it too?
And of course, they went to this area. They went while fighting the crowd. Another highlight is that they went to this area where a bunch of where two tables were set up with drinks and other snacks and everything on it. I think it was one of the catering tables back there. Two of them at least, which Sami Zayn proceeded to slam Kevin Owens through both of them.
Not one, but two tables.
And of course, after that spot, they fought back to the ring. Right? They fought back to the ring. Freaking Zayn. It's like Zayn pulled out a table, set it up right there. But then freaking Kevin Owens beat down Zayn some more. And then he took another table and stacked it on top of it. I'm thinking, okay, one of these two men are going to go through that double stack before this match is over.
Yep.
Which turns out to be freaking Sami Zayn was put through the table when freaking Owens performed that Fisherman Buster on Zayn through both tables. Right?
Yep.
Which only got freaking Owens a 2 count at this point. Right? But Zayn did fight back, and another crazy big spot was Zayn went under the ring, I believe, and retrieved a steel chair. But no. This wasn't any ordinary steel chair.
It was barbed wire wrapped.
Yeah, someone put Mick Foley's chair under the ring. It was wrapped in barbed wire. No, I believe that the last time we specifically saw a barbed wire wrapped steel chair was literally 20 years ago when Batista and Triple H had their Hell in a Cell match.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the last time I remember seeing a barbed wire wrapped steel chair in a WWE ring during a match before this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Zayn nailed Owens in the back with the barbed wire chair, and then freaking Zayn set up two chairs up and put the barbed wire chair in the middle and performed the least devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the Blue Thunder Bomb on the freaking barbed wire chair.
Yep.
Did it work? No, it didn't. It never does because Owens kicked out. Right? Yeah, and then freaking, but then a little bit later, freaking Owens did battle back and he performed I believe it was 2 or 3 power bombs on the freaking Sami Zayn on the ring apron, which is a little callback to their freaking NXT days, right?
Yeah.
And of course, And of course, following this, Owens put Sami Zayn's unconscious body in the ring and pinned him for the 3 count.
Well, he tried to go for 2, but one was countered by Sammy, and then the other one knocked him out.
And of course, after the match, I think Owens took that barbed wire steel chair and smashed it and put on Zayn to smash him into the ring post. Undertaker style, right? And then
Well, after the match, it was Kevin Owens was going to leave.
Actually, Kevin Owens was going to leave, and then he decided to put more further damage on Zayn when he exposed the concrete by taking the ringside mats up.
He tried to use the package pile driver, and then
everyone...
Very familiar music hits, doesn't it?
Yes, because right when Owens was about to hit the package pile driver on Zayn once again, this time on the exposed concrete floor, a familiar song hit, and several thousand fans admitted they had schizophrenia.
Yes.
By hearing voices in their head, of course.
Randy Orton came back.
Yes, Randy Orton.
And he was pissed.
Like Randy Orton came out, was going after Kevin Owens, the man who put him on the injured list for the last couple months, since I believe, November or December, somewhere in there. And then
it was like mid-November to December.
Yeah, but Orton was furious, went after Owens, including hitting Owens with an RKO, and then the fans were chanting one more time, so it looked like Orton was measuring up Owens for another RKO, but Randy Orton's like, nah, bro. This is too personal.
No, he went and adjusted his knee pad. I'm like, yes, what we've all been waiting for, the punt.
So yeah, Orton went to the corner, looked like he was about to deliver the punt kick, but security came and was like, nope, you're not doing that. And then Owens retreated, left the ring, and got out of there. Which...
Yeah, that was a fucking bitch move for the fucking security.
To send the fans home...
Save Owen.
But then to send the fans home happy, Orton was like, well, fuck this. All of you guards are getting RKOs now, which is exactly what he did.
Well... He literally RKO'd one, and he's like, oh, come back here, guys. RKO'd another one. And then he's like, okay, here, go ahead, RKO.
So, yeah, honestly, I think this was done, obviously, to set up another Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton match at WrestleMania 41.
We're probably going to see that. And I hope he punts his head off his fucking body.
And after that, and the fact that this rivalry is so dang personal, I wouldn't be surprised if they added some sort of no DQ stipulation to it, like, a no holds barred match or a street fight or last man standing or something like that to those lines, because that's what this rivalry needs. In my opinion, right?
Yes, and I hope he literally punts his head off his body.
Yeah. Come WrestleMania, I bet you hope Orton punched freaking goddamn Kevin Owens' head so clean off his shoulders that his head lands in the cheap seats.
Yes.
Obviously hypothetical, but yeah. But yeah, what'd you think of the Zayn and Owens unsanctioned match?
I would say it was the most brutal match of the night.
Of course, this is just nitpicking. I think a match like that should have had like at least one of the competitors busted open, but I understand why they didn't, obviously, because they don't want to overuse that, especially after what we would see at the end of the night. All right?
Yes.
So the next match, the main event on this 4-match card, and what a great event this was the men's Elimination Chamber match, where the winner would face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41. and we had
Yep.
CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus John Cena versus your boy Logan Paul.
Fuck Logan Paul, and no, he's your boy. Motherfucker shouldn't even be in wrestling.
Oh, come on. We all know when Logan Paul was announced for this match, you would hope he'd win and take that belt off of Cody Rhodes.
No, we all knew that was you.
We all know
you secretly suck Logan Paul's nuts.
No,
we all know this.
It's like, no, we all know that you want your ultimate dream is to see Logan Paul as WWE champion.
Nope. Fuck that. Hell no, fuck no.
I mean, hell, you said you wanted... I remember you telling me you wanted Logan Paul's freaking WWE Championship reign to be longer than Roman Reigns'.
No, that is you yet again. No one wants Logan Paul as champion.
I wouldn't even care if... I don't even care, man. I wouldn't even care if Logan Paul won the championship. One day would be bad enough, let alone over 2,000 of them. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, but can you...
Even 24 hours would be long enough.
I mean, hell, hypothetically speaking, can you imagine if Logan Paul won the WWE Championship at some point, the whole internet would have a fucking meltdown? Because everyone would be raging pissed. Right? I mean, it was bad enough when Logan Paul was a U.S. champion, okay? All right?
Yes.
Even though we all know you enjoyed that title reign, but...
Fuck you.
As a matter of fact, didn't we review that event where Logan Paul won that U.S. title from Rey Mysterio and I dogged you about how much you loved it back then? I bet you still do.
Yes. We all know that you were the one that loved it.
Yeah. Heck no, man. Oh, boy. But anyway, getting to the back to the subject at hand, just thinking about the highlights for this matchup. It's like Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins were the first two to kick it off, and what the hell was Seth Rollins wearing to the ring?
He wanted extra nipples. Pointy nipples.
I'm sorry, but that jacket of his looked like it had two erections. I know they was going for two horns, but I got that freaking vibe off it. I am freaking sorry because my mind is dirty. Right?
You look like two traffic cones that were fully erect.
And the fact is, what was the color of Seth Rollins' old jacket? Was it blue?
I think it was black.
I guess I swore it was a blues color, but either way, his freaking attire should have been sponsored by Blue Chew. Yeah, if you know, you know. I
was thinking that last night when I fucking was watching. I'm like, wow, Blue Chew should really fucking sponsor this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that just means you and I have been watching or listening to freaking 6 Feet Under way too damn much to make those kind of references. Yeah.
And their fucking main point is Seth Rollins' coat.
Yes. But anyway, enough about Seth Rollins' weird ass freaking attire that spawned those jokes. All right? Freaking McIntyre started dominating Rollins in the early on, including sending Rollins' throat first into the exposed part of the turnbuckle, which was removed. Or actually, no, it wasn't removed. It was like the little thing they hold the turnbuckle to the ring post, little screw that they had there.
The guard post for the turnbuckle for the freaking metal rod was taken off by freaking McIntyre and freaking CM Punk was going saying, "Do it."
Yes, there's some heat there. Of course, Damian Priest.
Of course, Seth Rollins was also in a feud with McIntyre and Punk at this time.
So, of course, Seth Rollins from the safety of spot would just yell at those two to beat the fuck out of each other. Makes perfect sense, right?
Yes, but he was like, do it.
It's like, that reminds, he reminded me of that one scene from, what was it, fucking what was it, fucking Shrek 4 or something? It's like, do the roar, do the roar, do it. Right?
No, he was being Emperor Palpatine. Do it.
Do it. Or do it, whatever. It's like, whatever. Both references are good from those scenes.
Well, the whole thing from Shrek 4 when he was like, do the roar. Do it. They were referencing Emperor Palpatine in that one, too.
Yep. Of course, the third one.
So they were doing Star Wars references to the entire thing. Do it.
Of course, the third person to enter the chamber was Damian Priest, former world champion. And, of course, the fourth person was your boy Logan Paul. Right?
Fuck Logan Paul.
I mean, I know Logan Paul was your pick to win.
Nope.
Just like how Logan Paul was your pick to win last year's chamber. That did not happen.
Nope. We all know it's you yet again. Quit fucking focusing your fucking shit on me when you're a fan of Logan Paul.
But yeah, of course, Paul performed that knockout punch on Priest, followed by Paul slamming Priest onto the floor. Yeah, and then freaking Rollins came in, super kicked Paul right in the face, but that only earned him a 2 count. I know you were happy because Paul kicked out.
Nope.
And of course, number 5 came in, which was John Cena. Right? And John Cena was on his retirement tour. Freaking John Cena was on his retirement tour at this point, obviously. And this would be his final Elimination Chamber match appearance with his last opportunity to go to the main event of WrestleMania, right?
Yep.
And, Cena performed all of his, signature moves on everyone who came across him until McIntyre came in and hit his Claymore kick on Cena before Damian Priest nailed the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up on McIntyre to eliminate him. Which that was a big shock, because I didn't think McIntyre was going to win, but I didn't think he would be the first one eliminated. I thought Priest would be the first one eliminated, honestly, but
I thought Logan Paul would have been the first. You would
have been happy if Logan Paul was the first one gone.
Yes. You'd be getting a message. Your boy. God. Eliminated.
But then Priest got knocked down. I think freaking McIntyre just had fucking performed the Claymore kick on Priest, or attacked Priest in some way, which enabled Logan Paul to perform a frog splash on Priest to eliminate him. Right?
Yes.
Which I knew that made you upset, but I think because of that, we're going to be ending up getting McIntyre versus Priest at WrestleMania.
We're probably going to get McIntyre versus Priest versus Paul.
Oh yeah, I just remember it was McIntyre who performed the Claymore kick on Priest, knocking him down following his elimination. Right?
Yes. Which made Logan Paul go all the way up to the top of the chamber, talk shit to Punk, and then jump off.
Yeah, and then once Priest was eliminated, the final participant in this chamber match, which was CM Punk, entered, right? And to me, CM Punk was my pick to win, honestly. I didn't think John Cena was going to win it, because I'm like, okay, since Cena's last year, he's probably going to have a high-profile match at Mania. That wasn't the main event. Oh, God, how wrong I was there.
Yes.
But we'll talk about it when we talk about it. And, of course, Cena and CM Punk were, staring down with one another. And, Cena was looking like he was going to attack Punk, but Rollins came in, interrupted Cena, saying, no. You've been gone for the last several months. Punk is mine, right? But that just prompted...
thing is, it was John Cena versus Punk. That whole thing was where the rivalry was being reignited. That was fucking amazing. They gave each other hugs and shit.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, they were opponents, but they've been longtime friends forever.
Yes. They're both veterans of the business too, obviously.
Yes, but I'm just saying that, and even though Punk does talk shit about Cena,
Yeah,
he does respect him.
yeah. And both CM Punk and John Cena are first ballot Hall of Famers in the future, in my opinion. Anyway, but Rollins interrupted, so both freaking so Logan Paul came back and took out both men, both of them, but then his momentum was shot down when Punk performed the GTS on Logan Paul to eliminate him.
Well, Logan Paul was going for that loaded fist, and then freaking Punk was like, no, I'm going to make you take a nap.
So yeah, Logan Paul got eliminated by CM Punk, which I know devastated you because you wanted Paul to win.
No, it devastated you. You're like, oh, my pig.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That was you. And of course, this prompted Rollins this prompted Punk and Cena to actually work together to perform the heart attack. Shout out to the Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, because that was their finisher. And of course,
the thing is that they decided to work because fucking Rollins was literally talking shit. Because he's like, "Oh, you've been gone. Go making more movies. Leave." I'm like, dude, don't fucking start shit.
And of course, after freaking Rollins got taken out with a heart attack, which everyone in Canada liked, because that was freaking the Hart Foundation's tag team finisher. That's when
no one knew what they were doing. They're like, what's Cena doing? And then fucking he just nods to Punk, and the Punk's just running from one rope to the other, and then just freaking clotheslines him.
Yes. Of course, afterwards, Cena offered a handshake, but Punk decided, no, let's hug this out like you were saying earlier. Right?
Yes.
And then after that, both of them just started beating the heck out of each other. And seeing that, I'm like, okay, I got freaking carried back to Money in the Bank 2011 with this fight between these two. Right?
Dude, like I said, it was nice to see they respect each other. It doesn't matter if they're opponents or not. If they're good guys or not, they have tremendous amount of respect for each other.
Yeah. And of course, not only did, of course, Cena got the better of Punk with his signature moves they nailed on Punk, like, the attitude adjustments, Punk kicked out. 5-knuckle shuggle, Punk kicked out of that as well, but then freaking
Punk had to go to sleep, Cena kicked out. Punk goes to freaking did an anaconda vice.
Cena reversed that into the freaking STF. It felt like we were literally.
The STF was reversed into the anaconda vice.
Yes, I mean, it felt like we were going back in time. I mean, we reviewed that Money in the Bank match between these two, and it felt like that in a way, right?
Dude, they were turning back the hands of Father Time.
Of course,
even the announcers, Wade Barrett, freaking Michael Cole, and everyone else was like, dude, they're turning back the hands of fucking time. It was like they fucking never ate.
Of course, Rollins got involved, breaking their little scuffle up. So yeah, Punk took Rollins on the outside of the ring. Yeah, but then freaking and of course, then Cena countered a crossbody, I believe, by Punk into the attitude adjustment, or FU, for the pin for a freaking 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, Rollins then came back in. Bow was seen on the outside the ring area, where freaking Rollins freaking threw Cena through the chamber pod.
Yep.
Putting Cena down. And of course, freaking Rollins went back after Punk again. And after
the thing is, I agree with the announcers. He should have literally friggin' ended Cena there.
But that didn't happen.
But he was so obsessed with Punk.
I mean, and Rollins did nail Punk with the pedigree at one point for a 2 count. I remember that. That was actually a great near fall there.
Yeah.
But eventually, after like teasing finishers, trading them off, Punk actually freaking eliminated Rollins with a go to sleep, followed with Rollins was eliminated after GTS, followed by an attitude adjustment by Cena. Right.
Yep.
So yeah, at this point, freaking, there was 2 men left. It was Punk and Cena, which, let's be honest, freaking, those are my 2 picks to win this thing anyway. But I was more towards the Punk side because I didn't think John Cena was going to be main eventing Mania. Like I said earlier. And of course, Cena then performed an attitude adjustment on Punk, which Punk kicked out. Then Punk freaking performed his GTS on Cena. Cena kicked out as well. So, in the end, freaking Cena was going for his STF submission hold, which freaking Punk kicked Cena off, and at this point, Punk was on the rope. So, Rollins actually freaking came in, performed the freaking curve stomp on the Punk, nailing Punk's freaking head on the floor. Right? And then Cena, looking at this, didn't even acknowledge freaking that Rollins freaking just took out Punk. Instead, freaking Cena then pulled Punk right back to the middle of the ring and applied the STF. And
Punk's like this.
And despite
lose, die.
Yeah, and Rollins was yelling at Punk to die, and despite trying to fight back, Punk couldn't continue and he passed out. He didn't tap out. Which
Punk and Cena have never really tapped out to each other's finishers. They've only fucking passed out, which is very impressive.
So yeah, Punk was like, screw this, I'm not tapping out. I'd rather pass out. So,
like I said, Cena and Punk have never tapped out to each other's moves.
Exactly, man. So John Cena, that would mean John Cena won the Elimination Chamber to earn a WrestleMania main event match against freaking Cody Rhodes. Now, before we talk about what happened afterwards, your thoughts on this Elimination Chamber main event from bell to bell?
Rollins fucked up.
Rollins ultimately screwed CM Punk.
That's what I'm saying. Rollins fucked up. Dude, this is just... You saw how fucking vindictive he was against McIntyre.
Yes.
We're about to see round 2.
Yeah, but like I said, just like I said for the freaking
just
Orton,
because he was embarrassed that he lost to CM Punk on the inaugural night of Raw going to Netflix.
Yes. And so yeah, from bell to bell, I thought this match was good. The ending was kind of off, but either way, I understand the story they're telling. Oh, this is the last time for Cena. He can't sit there and just be distracted. He has to get the job done. I understand that. Regardless.
Yeah.
So from bell to bell, I thought it was a good main event. Not the best chamber match we've seen. I think if I had to compare the two, which one chamber match do I think is better? I think the women had it as far as crazy spots go. But when it comes to the storytelling aspect, the men's was better. Right?
I still say, well, the 2 matches of the night that I would give it to is both the women's and the men's. The most brutal is the fucking unsanctioned match.
Yeah, to me the unsanctioned match was the match of the night, but when it comes to,
unfortunately, the least was the Trish Stratus match.
The Trish Stratus Tiffany Stratton tag match against Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. Now, that's not a fault of their own. Like we said, it's just the booking and everything else surrounding that match on this show.
Yes.
So yeah, that's not a dog against the performers. They pretty much worked with what they were given.
Right? Yes. That's what I'm saying. The least is the friggin' Stratus match, which literally wasn't the performer's fault, but they could have literally gave them a little bit more time, but they decided to cut it short.
Exactly. But it is what it is. You can't change it. I mean, this show is like 3 hours, but The reason I think the reason they cut that tag match short was because of what we're about to talk about, which, oh boy, this is the part that everyone's been talking about that you probably want to hear our opinions on the most. Is what happened after the Chamber.
You can never see.
No pun intended, or pun very much intended. Friggin', after they raised the Chamber up and Cena was celebrating his victory, Cody Rhodes came out, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Cody Rhodes came out, had a stare down with Cena as a little hype for their match, and then The Rock's music started playing because you gotta realize in the couple weeks before this event, The Rock made Cody Rhodes an offer saying he wants Cody Rhodes' soul to be his corporate champion, right?
Yep.
And of course, Travis Scott was with The Rock for some reason. Travis Scott wearing his custom-made carrying his custom-made hardcore championship, which I believe they should bring back as a real title, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
Make it look exactly like the replica that Travis Scott's freaking carrying around, but that's just my opinion. That's for another day. But you know, that's beside the point here. Very minor, right? So
Yeah.
The Rock So The Rock pretty much said something along the lines of, "What's your answer, Cody? I will freaking put my arms out and accept you as a brother. Just let me have your soul." And
if it is no, it'll be the end of the dream. Again.
yes, saying if the answer is no, that'll be that. What he said, right? So Cody Rhodes said that, Cody Rhodes says that he has no soul, implying that Cody was going to turn heel and join The Rock.
Well, he said, I already gave my soul to them.
But he goes, I gave my soul to this ring and to the people. And then Cody Rhodes said, Rock, go fuck yourself. All uncensored. They didn't censor that. No one censored. That wasn't censored. That response got a big pop, too, from the crowd.
Yes. Well, the PG era is over.
And even John Cena in the background was all cheering, saying, yay, good for you, Cody. You didn't sell out. And then freaking...
Just to get stabbed in the back.
Oh, I'm about to go for that, too, but here's a little detail we need to talk about. After that, Cody Rhodes... It's like Cody Rhodes and John Cena then hugged and embraced the fact that Cody Rhodes did not sell out to The Rock. But then The Rock gave the throat slash motion, and then John Cena's facial expression just changed.
Yes.
And then after freaking the hug was over, freaking Cena then freaking low blowed Cody Rhodes. In a sense, freaking Cena was a dick to Cody's Rhodes.
I was just about to say, did he give the Rhodes the invisible hook?
Exactly. and at this point, I was shocked, saying, "What the fuck?" Right?
And I loved how the freaking announcers literally said the Rolex was brass knuckles.
Yeah, the Rolex was brass knuckles, but it was the Rolex watch that I believe Cody gave to The Rock that Cena used to pound freaking Cody Rhodes' face in. And even fucking Michael Cole was like, stop this shit. Right? Totally uncensored on commentary.
Yes.
And then afterwards,
why did this man have to sell out?
Yeah, and then after that, freaking John Cena took Cody Rhodes' WWE Championship and nailed Rhodes in the head with it, not once but twice, busting him open.
Not once, not twice. 3 different times.
Yeah, busting Cody Rhodes open. And then freaking Cody Rhodes had his shirt ripped off by freaking Cena, who continued to beat down on Cody Rhodes' head and face.
And Travis Scott.
And then Travis Scott held down freaking, I believe, Cody Rhodes' legs while Cena
had his legs, he was holding his arms.
Yeah, Travis Scott was holding Cody Rhodes' arms, Cena was holding his legs, and then The Rock took that weight belt that said Cody's soul with Dusty Rhodes' death date written on it, and The Rock proceeded to whip Cody Rhodes with the weight belt. repeatedly, over and over again.
Yep, and then he wipes his blood on it.
Yeah, and then just like what happened last year, freaking Rock wiped Cody Rhodes' blood on the belt. And then Cena posed with the championship before dropping it down on Cody Rhodes' bloody unconscious body. And with that, we've seen perhaps the most shocking heel turns in the last 20 years. No one predicted Cena turning heel.
No. Are we going to see him continue wearing the jorts? Or are we going to see him do something different? We don't know. It'll be a surprise. He could just be what he was originally when he brought out the jorts and the first time when he was heel.
And that brings up so many questions. What are they going to do now? Is his theme song going to change? Is his whole freaking attire going to change? Instead of freaking blue jorts, he's going to wrestle in black shorts. Or black shorts.
Is he going to come back out with his Doctor of Thugonomics, which was a fucking banger entrance in itself?
Or is this going to be a whole new side of heel John Cena that we've never seen before? Ooh. Oh, yeah. And
I kind of figured they were going to do something, but I never expected this.
Yeah. And if you think about it, we should have known this was coming. Because remember back at Bad Blood back in October when The Rock did the little random appearance? What hand gesture did The Rock freaking use? He used he put up the like 3 symbol with his freaking, the same symbol that John Cena had. There was a hint there when you really made that connection, right?
Yeah.
And then freaking Cena going on press conferences, or Cena going on to the press conference saying he's going to enter the Elimination Chamber and win it because that's best for business. Now, looking at all that, that makes sense. Those were subtle hints that this was coming. No one wanted to believe it, though.
Or could this be a start of a new faction?
Because Cena turning heel, I know for the younger audiences or younger fans out there, like the little kids out there, they probably don't view John Cena's heel turn as a big deal. Yeah, but for the little kids out there, like watching nowadays that haven't been watching Cena the last 20 years, they might not view this as a big deal. But for people like us who've seen John Cena's main event run since day one 20 years ago, this is something why it hits so damn hard. This is something we thought we would never see. Every opportunity they had at making John Cena heel, they never did it. Cena never turned heel. He was the ultimate good guy. It's like he was like the Superman of the WWE. Basically, is what I'm saying. Hence the term Super Cena.
Yes.
And now Cena turning heel all of a sudden. That's what threw everybody off, like ourselves. Because we were like, what? Were you witnessing this? Were you witnessing something we thought we'd never see ever, period.
Well, honestly, I was kind of hoping that he would turn heel again, just so we could see him become the bad guy again.
Over the last, less than 24 hours later, everyone's compared this heel turn to Hulk Hogan's 96 heel turn.
Well, they're also comparing it to, the fucking, Rock and Hogan, when the Rock fucking turned heel.
Yeah, when The Rock first turned heel into Hollywood Rock. Or people like to compare it to Austin's heel turn. It was shocking and not... because no one expected it to happen. And
that's why it's taking over all the fucking searching, because it even eclipsed Randy Orton. Honestly, I'm sorry to say that Randy should have kind of entered during the match.
Yeah.
Nothing to fault Randy for, because they could have plotted his return so much better.
Let's put it like this. Nothing on the show can compare to how it freaking ended here with this shocking heel turn. Jade Cargill's return got overshadowed. Randy Orton's return got overshadowed. Hell, Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton could have had a 5-star of a tag team wrestling match, and even that would have gotten overshadowed by this.
Yes.
So yeah, the big talk right now is a Cena heel turn. Like, where are we going to go at Mania? Is Cena's going to be the ultimate freaking asshole going into WrestleMania and try to and probably cheat to win. Everyone's already spectating that. And if that's the case, what is a Cena heel championship run going to look like?
We don't know. We'll see.
I mean, hell, I mean, WCW, they had balls to turn Hogan heel, and then Austin turned heel in 2001, and hell, Rock turned heel in 2003, and if you want a better example of a big main event, they even Roman Reigns turned heel and did the Tribal Chief character. In a sense, Roman Reigns turning heel actually saved his career.
And are we going to see Cena bring back heel John Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics?
I mean, yeah,
which blasted his career all the way skyrocketing.
I mean, this is the first time Cena's actually been a heel since 2003, so this is a big deal.
Yes.
So it's like, wow. Wow, I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to be telling next. I mean, hell, even during the press, I seen a little bit of the press conference for the Elimination Chamber after the show was over. By the time Cena got up there to talk, Cena didn't even talk. He just picked up the mic, dropped it, and then left. Pretty much symbolizing, fuck you guys. I ain't got anything to say to you. You don't deserve to hear anything from me. Right?
Exactly. Even The Rock said he doesn't know what Cena's going to do.
I mean, it's Cena.
And that's the scary part.
And you know Cena's desperate to get that.
The Rock doesn't know.
I mean, you know Cena's this desperate for that 17th world title in that WrestleMania event that he had to resort to turning into a freaking asshole heel for the first time in over 20 years, which got a lot of people talking.
In 25 years, yes.
So it's like, wow, where do we go from here? I don't know, but I guess all I gotta say is tune into Raw and SmackDown in the next 6 weeks before Mania to figure that one out.
Yep.
So with that being said, now it's time to go to our favorite portion of the review, and that's our rating system. Now, I know I didn't go into every match in detail, but you know, with the angle after the men's chamber, I kind of wanted to talk about that more in depth, like we just did. All right. So,
yes.
So Bianca Belair winning the women's elimination chamber for an opportunity to take on the women's world champion at WrestleMania 41. I gave that one 4.5 out of 5.
I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah. I mean, I did like the storytelling, but, you know, the fact that Naomi wasn't eliminated proper, that's why I gave it the 4.5 out of 5.
Honestly, I thought they were going to put Jade Cargill into it, make it the first ever three-person elimination for women's. Would have been even better, which would have raised it to either 4.5 to a 5-star match.
Yeah. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus defeating Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I give that one 3 3/4 out of 5. And, you know, like I said, it's neither the performer's fault for this week rating.
Well, I was going to give it a 3. I'm just going to go with a 4. Because it wasn't their fault. Yes, they had a banger of a match.
Yeah.
But it could have been so much better.
I mean, it felt like something we could see on SmackDown, but again, it wasn't their fault.
Yes.
Kevin Owens defeating Sami Zayn in that unsanctioned match. 5 out of 5. The best match on the card, in my opinion.
4.5.
Now, and John Cena winning the men's elimination chamber match to earn a WWE Championship match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. I gave that one 4 3/4 out of 5.
5.5.
Okay. And, you know, originally my final grade was going to be a B, but if you add the angle after the match, the shocking John Cena heel turn, I couldn't go any less than a fucking A, so my freaking grade for this is an A.
S.
You gave me the S. Well, what is this, a tier list? S for Supreme. Superior. Yes. Which is pretty much the same thing as an A-rated grade. So either way, so yeah, that's our thoughts and our opinions about Elimination Chamber 2025 last night. But God, I can't. God, that freaking ending was shocking. God, the ending was shocking. I don't think anything we can see this year, we'll see this year on pay-per-view can top that. Honestly,
we'll have to wait until Mania.
Yep. So yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed our thoughts and our opinions on Elimination Chamber 2025. So yeah, next week, we're gonna be returning to our classic pay-per-view reviews. And well, it's my pick, so I decided we'll go back to 2001 to watch the classic 2 out of 3 falls between Triple H and Steve Austin. So yeah, our classic pay-per-view review next week will be No Way Out 2001. So until then, we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.